Choque de titanes. Donald Trump ha provocado a Xi Jinping con insultos y aranceles totales en plena guerra comercial. Vamos a ver cuáles han sido estas declaraciones del mismísimo Donald Trump, donde le ha dado donde más le duele a un Xi Jinping, a una China que ha hablado precisamente de la cancelación de del envío de tierras raras. Esto podría provocar una gran guerra comercial. Y ya saben muchas veces lo que implica una guerra comercial en el Pacífico, sino que podría entrar un gran conflicto militar, sabiendo a estas expectativas lo que significaría un conflicto militar entre China y Estados Unidos, ¿verdad? Significaría un conflicto atómico nuclear. Vamos a escuchar las declaraciones de Donald Trump respecto a estas preguntas.
An update on the trade negotiations with China, or perhaps Secretary Bessent?
Yeah, I will, and I'm going to let Scott do that. But I think we're doing very well. I think we're getting along with China. China would like to have something. As of this moment, we'll be meeting in a couple of weeks. We'll be meeting in South Korea.
You think
myself.
Will go forward?
I think so. It looks like it's going forward. I think so. They want to meet. We like to meet. I have a very good relationship with President Xi, and we're going to see what happens. But, you know, for years we were taken advantage of by China very badly. We were losing hundreds of billions of dollars a year to China. We really built their military, if you think about it. The kind of money that presidents allowed to be lost to China was just insane. And then when I came into office, as you know, I put very severe tariffs. So we took in hundreds of billions of dollars in my first term from China. Biden let that go because it was so much. He let it continue, but he gave all sorts of exceptions. And by the time you looked at it, Scott, I would say it wasn't the same thing. He would give an exception for anything. If you got up and went out to dinner, he'd give you an exception. So it wasn't the same thing. But I put on very serious tariffs. So we took in hundreds of billions of dollars. And then I left office. The election was rigged. I left office, and that was the story. Now I come back. And we are in a very strong position.
Porque ya él sigue confirmando que las elecciones fueron fraudulentas. Él lo acaba de confirmar. A ver, lo cierto es que esta retórica de Donald Trump de atacar, ¿no?, a Joe Biden siempre ha sido, pues en este caso, de indicar que le habrían estado robando las elecciones y que al mismo tiempo también la desdolarización venía en base a todo esto. Es decir, que Sleepy Joe Biden, como lo llama él, no habría permitido esas acciones contra los chinos, que ahora parece que las está reactivando.
Position because of tariffs. We're in a very powerful position because of the fact that we have tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be in a very weak position. We would be in a weakened state. But with tariffs, we've made hundreds of billions of dollars, not only from China, but from others. And China wants to talk, and we like talking to China. So we have a very good relationship, and we're going to be meeting in South Korea a couple of weeks. And I just got back from a long trip. I'm going on another long trip. And Scott, you want to say a few words on that, please?
Yes, sir. So the entire relationship stems from the great respect that the two leaders have for each other. China did a substantial, unprovoked escalation last week. We were unable to get in touch with them. Since then, it's been IMF World Bank Week. They have had working level people here who there have been meetings. The Vice Premier, who is my counterpart, and I will be speaking this evening at around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then he and I and a delegation will meet in Malaysia probably a week from tomorrow to prepare for the two presidents to meet. So I think that things have de-escalated. We hope that China will show the respect that we have shown them. And I am confident that President Trump, because of his relationship with President Xi, will be able to get things back on a good course.
Is the hope for that meeting with you and President Xi some kind of trade deal then? Or
could be.
More
Look, I think we're in a very strong position. We're getting, as you know, as of November 1st, I could move it up if I wanted, a 100% tariff over and above what we get now. So that would make it about 157%. And China doesn't want that, and they want to talk, and we're talking. And I think we'll make a deal that will be good for both. I think we will do something, but you have to understand, we never got anything from China. It was a one-way street. For many years, for decades, it was a one-way street. And they became rich because of the United States. And frankly, presidents that, let's be nice, they didn't know. They just didn't know. They didn't understand what was happening to them. But I understood it. I understood it long before I ran for politics. I used to watch in amazement at how stupid our country was, how stupid they were. And we're not stupid anymore. And that includes with the European Union, that includes with Japan and South Korea. All we want to do is be treated fairly. But the fairly is hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars coming into the United States. And it's our national security is secure because of tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, we would have no national security. So it's very important.
Will you seek China's help in ending the war in Ukraine? Do you need them to put pressure on Russia?
I'll be discussing that, but I'd love to see it ended before that.
Ahí lo vemos, el presidente Donald Trump pidiendo sobre todo a China que entienda que ahora mismo la situación es muy grave. A ver, temas comerciales siempre han sido los que al final han podido acabar, ¿no?, con esa tregua de amistad que había entre China y los Estados Unidos de América, algo que además ahora también se está corroborando por parte de los chinos. Sin embargo, lo cierto es que Xi Jinping también habría llamado estúpido, según se habría podido corroborar en esta última reunión. Estúpido a Xi Jinping le ha llamado Donald Trump, y al mismo tiempo el propio Xi Jinping también ha asegurado que hay garantías que podrían estar reventando en cualquier momento. Así que mucha atención. La agricultura, sobre todo, también la ministra de Agricultura también ha estado hablando sobre este debate activo. Vamos a escucharla. Atención.
Announcements next week on some good news, on some additional product moving out, row crop commodities moving out into the world. And until we have a really good sense of exactly what the damage is, again, there could be a deal tomorrow. I don't think there will be, it's not my lane, but there could be a deal tomorrow where China agrees to buy all of the soybeans and sorghum, etc. So what we have done is ensured, per the president's direction, that these farmers will have a backstop if in fact we're not able to move these commodities out.
But even if there is no deal in China, is the administration solely waiting to see what happens with China? I mean, there are other countries that farmers, trade with. So
absolutely,
is it just China that you guys
it is not just China. Thank you for allowing me to clarify that. So just last week, in fact, unfortunately, I was supposed to be in Japan working to move the soybeans and sorghum and others out to Japan. There are countries all over the world. We're actually in discussions with some South American countries to do some crushing there for our soybeans and others. So no, I mean, this is, listen.
Bueno, aquí lo acaba de confirmar la ministra. También están hablando con países latinoamericanos, que por cierto, los países latinoamericanos últimamente también están haciendo mucho comercio con China. Así que mucha atención también a esto. Nos vemos como siempre en el próximo capítulo, amigos. Un saludo y hasta luego.